All right, welcome to part 2 of my Maker Faire badge live stream. So I did part 1 this morning where I started the schematic for my badge design. Basically, I'm taking an alphanumeric display and I'm going to make that so that it can say like Bald Engineer. As an example, I wanted the overhead. The original idea for this project came from a vacuum fluorescent display, and unfortunately the surplus store I bought these from, they were all busted. So instead, I'm just using some surplus LED alphanumeric modules that I found. And so what I did already is I've got the schematic for most of the design done. So let me shorten this up and make this bigger. All right, so that's looking pretty good so far. So basically we've got 18 mega 328 to power or to drive it. Down here I'm going to use a TLC 5940 to actually do the driving for the LED segments. And then I'll create a matrix of, or I have created a matrix of LEDs, or the LED segments. And so what I'm actually going to do in the next step is create the footprint for these in KiCad. And then I've also done a switching regulator. And so the boost regulator is for the logic chips. I'm going to power this from 2 AA's. They're nickel metal hydride, so I'm a little bit worried about the voltage levels and them being stable. So I decided to go ahead and just put in a small boost converter to make sure that that they stay stable. All right. So if this is the first time to one of my AddOhms live streams, basically I'm going to be working through the design. Feel free to ask electronics questions about the design, AddOhms, Bald Engineer, whatever you like. The chat is available either through YouTube. I'm also streaming to my Twitch channel. You can contact there. And then if you look in the description for this live stream, there is a link to Discord. And so you can actually join our Discord server and ask questions there as well. All right. So at this point, well, like I said, what I'm doing now is I need to actually make the footprint. Now you might think, okay, well, if I'm working on a footprint, then I'm probably going to just go directly into KiCad. And in fact, I'm not, because I don't like drawing stuff in KiCad. And so what I've done is I've actually recreated what the digits will look like. And then this way, when I get into the circuit board design, it'll actually work out a little bit nicer. So grab this. Where I'm at this moment is I'm trying to place the through holes. So if I look at this diagram, I see from middle of the hole to middle of the hole. So middle hole is 11.43. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to draw a line, 11.43 millimeters. And we're just going to sort of do something like this. And I'll do one, and I'll do one down here. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this in Illustrator, export it as a DXF, and then import that into KiCad so that I can get the pin placements correct. The rest of this stuff, I don't really care how accurate it is, because it's just decoration anyway. So, get back to here. All right. Why is the frame rate dropping so much? I'm just going to keep going. How's the frame rate on the stream? Let me know in the chat. OBS is telling me it's dropping quite a bit, which I'm not sure I understand why. Okay, anyway, so I got that. And then the next thing I wanted to look at was what is So from pin to pin is 10.3 millimeters. So let's grab another line, 3 millimeters. Go like this, come down here. Okay. And so basically all I care is if I get, now actually I do care one thing. Does this tell me how far the pins are from, it doesn't tell me how far the pins are from here, so I'm guessing that's centered. So what we're going to do is say, okay, align that to the middle and align this to the center. Part 1 before I sleep, part 2 after I sleep. Yeah, this one's definitely not going to go as long as the last one. I'm already pretty tired and I didn't eat dinner yet. It's like 8:30 my time. But I was working on this, and same problem I had this morning. I kept using Reddit instead of getting this done. Let's try, go back to this one. Interesting. All right. Okay, so that's in place, that's in place. So now I'll just take this and say go here, and then take this and go here. Take one of these over here. And basically what that tells me is I think that's the center point, right? From center to center, center to center. Yep. And then I can come over here, and in theory, this should work. How can I did a bad job setting up my layers. Okay, so let me do this. I want grab this and let's just put this on its own segments, paste in place, lock that, outline, actually, so the outline I want to actually have its own outline, paste in place, lock that. Layer 1, whatever's left. What is left? Oh, I know what else is left. I can delete this. This was the original stuff. I actually just copied these right out of the PDF, so it didn't take too long to draw that. So segments. Okay, and then select same stroke. At this point, I just need to get these things into some way to use it, and then that should leave, what's that leave for this? This should just be the pinholes. All right, now that that's cleaned up, this should work a little bit better. Oh, I lost my actual guides. Try this, come down here, to here, to here, and to here. All right, so that's in the right place, that's in the right place. Now I want this, but I don't want this. And we're going to distribute horizontally. That didn't work. Oh, because these are selected. Distribute horizontally. And according to my document, these should each be separated by, oh no, did I do this wrong again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. They should be separated by 1.27 millimeters. So now we'll come into here, grab this line, and then say, okay, how far to here? That's snapping to a grid. I don't need that to do that. Snap to pixel. Line. All right. So that's about 1.27. So that's going to work out just fine. And so then we'll do the same thing for this one. So get it on this line and use the align tools. If you're not familiar with align tools and pathfinders and vector programs, I highly recommend it. Since I now know that these holes are exactly where I want them, and I know that the distance is set, I'm just going to use the align tool to actually line them up instead of trying to figure out how to place these individually. KiCad has this in its symbol editor. I just find working with Illustrator a little bit easier. And so I want the artwork, which is going to be the design. And then when I get the holes, I just want to be able to place the holes in KiCad. So distribute that and then take them all the way down. Okay. All right. And then I am going to leave this marker. I think that's on the segment marker or segment layer. I'm going to leave this marker. Ungroup that. And I'm going to move this down here. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to draw a rectangle around this one because this is pin 1. What's the part number? That's a really good question. I don't know. I just found it on jameco.com. It's in their clearance section. It's $1.09. I'm calling it surplus, even though it's technically, I guess it's actually surplus clearance, but it's really cheap, and that's all I really care about. But the part number, the actual part number, I don't know what it is. Oh, here. It's LTP-3862JD. All right. Okay, so all I'm doing here is just creating a marker. 1, 1, and then we will do this, use my align tool again. All right, beautiful. Oh man, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. The rest of these I don't care about. They're just marking where the pins would have been. Yeah. Actually, yeah, wow from Lydon. Yeah, actually, so I was looking at DigiKey before I found, well, actually after I found this one because I wanted to see what new ones would look like. And the Lydons from DigiKey were looking to be $3 for a single digit, roughly the same size, a little bit bigger, but it was single digits were $3. So I'm getting 2 digits for $1.09. Which, if you know anything about me, I normally don't really care that much about component costs, especially for smaller projects like this, where it's one thing that I'm building. So, you know, what's a few dollars? But in the spirit of Maker Faire, I wanted to limit the number of brand new parts that I'm buying. Now for the switching regulator, I'm buying all new components, but that is what it is. Okay, let's change this line width. Okay, so now I can unlock my layers because I'm done with this. Properties, line width, 0.5. That's better looking. Okay, so looking at this, I've got my digits. I've got this going on. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So at this point, I am ready to export this. So let's save this file. Oh, one more thing. So one thing is when you import, I don't know, I have trouble with DXF files. And so one thing I always do is I create a actual metric or marker, so I can actually say, okay, well, how big is this? So this is going to be 10 millimeters. So we'll actually see when I get into the other file that it's a full 10 millimeters. So export as DXF. Alpha export, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, $1.09, that's, yeah. Now, the store I was at, man, so I got this access to the surplus store in the Bay Area. And let me let me show you guys this. This is crazy. Is it only, I think I only have a video. Hold on. I'll show you a picture from my phone in just a second. Yeah. Let's go here. So there's this surplus store in the Bay Area, and they've got a little bit of a history. There's this guy that worked for them back in the 70s and 80s that used to sell components, and I think he worked on the weekends. His name was Steve Jobs. And so one of his first jobs, or early jobs in high school maybe, or around that time, was actually working at this surplus store. And so it's just kind of a cool, like, little bit of history that he worked there. All right. Can I rotate this without pulling it into... come on. I don't know why it came out bad. That's all right. Now I'm getting sidetracked. Okay. I'm waiting for After Effects load so I can show you what it looks like inside the store. So we need to go to the package editor, footprint editor, and I want to load this into, let's see, let's load, select an active library, my libraries. We're going to do a new footprint. The footprint name is going to be LTP 3862 JD, since I have it now. I'll move this down here, move this one up here. All right. Update later, update later. So check this store out. Comp settings. So it is like literally just piles and piles of components. And so they've got, I don't know, 10 shelves worth of LEDs. And so they have every style type that you could possibly imagine finding. And they're only like a few cents. So while it's a good deal that I found these for $1.09, I wish I could have found them at that store because they were like 50 cents or something. I mean, it was totally amazing. Okay, footprint outlines from DFX, file, sketching, This is the one we just drew. Center of page, default line width. And I want it to go into drawings. Okay. Now. Okay. So there's a couple of things that are missing here. So I'm going to end up re-importing this. So the first thing to notice is none of the lead holes came in, and I know why, so I'll fix that. And then I didn't get my marker up here, which is interesting. So let's go back to, so what's going on is the DFX format doesn't support round or curved lines. And so it's dropping all of these. Now, I don't know why this one didn't come through. So there is a workaround for this, which is to add anchor points. Let's just do it to this one. And then simplify. Preview, so make sure it still looks right. Should be straight lines, okay. Okay, so what's going on is, like I said, the DFX format, this isn't a limitation in KiCad, which some people mistakenly think that it is. The issue is that DFX doesn't support round objects like a circle. And so it only knows what straight lines are. So what you do, and this works in Inkscape as well as Illustrator. I use Illustrator. So what I'm going to do is, well, I'll do it on this one and then I'll do them all, but just so you can see what's going to happen. So I'm going to do, I just lost my train of thought. I'm going to add anchor points. And so when I turn on the anchor points, now what you can see is now there's like all these points around the circle. Well, watch what happens as I do this multiple times. Path, add anchor points. And so it's basically just creating a whole bunch of dots. So then the next step is to tell Illustrator, or again, you can do this in Inkscape, slice this up into individual segments. And so I'm going to go to simplify. And so like if I take out straight lines, it does something crazy. But with straight lines enabled, now it's actually created a whole bunch of little line segments. And if I zoom in enough and enough and enough, and I can barely do it, if you look really close, you can see that this is no longer curved. It's actually, there's actually segments associated with it. Okay, so let's save this. Let's export as DFX and save that, replace, and then go back to KiCad and say, all right, let's take all of this, delete it, import from DFX. It remembers the last time the file from the last time I did this, and I'll say okay. And there we go. Now I get my circle back. But I still don't have my other line, but that's okay. If I look at this one, it's going from 5.5. Okay, so I know that this square is supposed to be 1 millimeter, so the scale is correct. All right. Okay, so now let me go do the rest of the lines, and I'm just gonna kind of power through it. Resize my artboard. I still don't know why this line isn't coming through, but whatever, I don't need it. All right, so grab property layers, lock this one, grab this guy, and that one. Object path, add anchor points, object path. I don't really need these circles to stay. I need to know where to put my pads in KiCad, but it's kind of fun to show how to get individual or specific shapes into KiCad. So simplify, straight lines, all right. So for example, the other thing, and this is just a aesthetic thing, just going to round this out a little bit, and then we got to do the same thing because now that it's got round corners, the DFX won't be able to support that. And so path, add anchor points, path, add anchor points, path, add anchor points, path, simplify, and say OK. Now let's export that. And we're going to export that into DFX, replace. OK. And come back into KiCad, file, import from DFX. And oh no, what the heck? Oh, oh, it exported what I had selected. That's bad. Let's do this just to make sure. DFX, replace, file, import from DFX. What? What? Okay. I don't understand why it's suddenly mad. So we're just going to not do that. What? Oh, is that why? Okay. Maybe it's because I had a fill color set on that one. But then why did it import before? All right, whatever. Okay, got what I want. Reference, and then we'll put this up here. Okay, so now I've got the basic outline. And now we need to add pads. And so, oops. Hole size, 0.5 millimeters through hole, circular, okay. My grid is not going to, okay, let's try there. The problem is I can't see through the, it's going to be easier if I can wait. Okay. What is this doing? It's giving me a hole of 0.5, and then what's the shade, the size of the, it looks like it's giving me a, okay, so 1.542. 1.524. Okay. So if I just do 1 millimeter. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is this. So that I can better see where the hole should go. Yeah. I should have made these a millimeter to begin with, but oh well. it's going to go there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Layers. Lock all these. New layer. Outer holes. Outer holes. Paste those back into place. I need 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Move all of these together down to here. This, and this. Align, distribute, and then align to key object, which will be this one, and center. Copy that, and we're going to put them down here. And in this case, align and go, whoa, no. Paste, group. So align to this hole. Layers, pinholes, align to this hole. Align. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, no. I want to align it to the middle. And then I want to align this and this to the left. All right. Okay. And now we make that a more reasonable size. Properties, drop it down to 0.25 points. All right. Beautiful. Export as digit. That's fine. Replace. Come back to KiCad. Shrink this down a little bit. Okay. Zoom out. And all right. Import DFX. Beautiful. Whoa. Oh, duh. I forgot to simplify them. So come back to my layer, outer hole, select, object, path, simplify, or I got to add the points first. Do this 5 times. Now I simplify. Straight lines okay. Save. Export as DFX. Export, replace. Say okay. You might be able to tell I've done this a few times. Okay, let's move this out of here, this up here. File import from DFX. Okay. There we go. All right, and then pinholes. So now the idea, I'm going to do this. Let's go to a slightly finer grid of like a mil. I'm going to come back and use the align tools in KiCad as well, but I've never tried that on a pin, so, or on a hole definition, so I'm just going to wait until I get all of these in place. I mean, the reality is I made the holes slightly larger than the pins and their tolerance, so they can all be off a little bit. It'll actually make soldering a little bit easier if they're slightly off. So 10 and then 11. Ooh, yeah. There is a pin 14. I can't remember if I defined pin 14 in the schematic or not. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, no, that's okay. All right. All right. Cool. Very, very cool. All right. So that's going to work out. So question for you in chat. What is a schematic symbol that you've had to create? What's the most complex you've ever created? To kick it off, for me, I have a rotary encoder. That's one of those things, you know, spins around. And to this day, I am convinced there's a missing dimension on the mechanical drawing because I can never make the pins line up the way they should. And so maybe by this point, somebody's made one and I can just copy theirs because that would make life so much easier. Now, one thing I am going to add is I'm going to highlight, well, see, this is what I don't know, did KiCad 5 make this easier to I wonder if create pad from selected shapes. Shoot, would that have done what I just did? Ah, all right. What I would really like is there a way to take this from the drawing layer to the silkscreen layer? I know a way to do it. I'm going to yeah, okay, so yeah, I don't want the holes. So what I'm trying to think of is I want silkscreen for like the lines. You know what? I'm not going to bother with it right now. I think I know what I have to do. I could import another DFX, line it up, and then go in the text file. Yeah, we're not doing it. Oh, no, I know what I could do. Good morning, Thomas. I take it you are somewhere in Europe. What time is it in? Export file. Export as. Silk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import 10 a.m. in Thailand. Oh, wow. I've been to Bangkok, which almost anyone that's been to Thailand's gone to Bangkok, right? And I also spent about a week in Phuket Island, which was absolutely gorgeous. It was hot. I think I sweated through all of my clothes, but it was absolutely gorgeous. Oh, come on. All right, here's what we're going to do. Good morning from Germany. Enjoy a cafe and so I have a very close friend. He lives in Rosenheim, and when I would travel to Germany for work, I always enjoyed staying in Rosenheim. Beautiful city. Get to see the Alps. What we're going to do is Okay. Kill all of it. Oh, come on. Why'd you have to do it that way? Yeah, this is the downside of that move I just did. Beautiful. All right. All right. So I did this just so that when this actually gets printed or when the circuit board gets manufactured, I'll actually have some nice looking silk screen to go along with it. What I could do is go in and kill the drawing layer, but there's no reason to do that. Okie dokie. All right, so I finally got that done. Now I can save this. Okay, good. I did define pin 14. All right. Okay, so now my schematic is finally complete, I think. So what we got to do now is let's go into, well, we got to annotate it. Use entire schematic, keep existing. Yeah, just, I'm going to throw most of the annotations away so it doesn't really matter. Okay, save that. And now I need to assign footprints. Some of the legacy, would you like to attempt to convert them? If no, all right, yeah. Was not found in a library. Well, that's bummer. Okay. So if you haven't used KiCad before, most of these symbols in the schematic don't have a footprint associated with them, so you have to do that separately. To some extent, I like that. And then sometimes, like right now, I'd prefer if it was smarter, but that's okay. And then in my setup, I've actually removed all of the footprints just because there was a bug early on that capacitor project only finish. Okay. That was giving me problems, so I just said to heck with it. All right. I just need an 805. That's for hand soldering. I'm not doing hand soldering. All right. So 10, 10, 10. The LED will be a 1206. These are for for capacitors, but resistors close enough. These are all 805. Why do I have two buttons named up? That's not right. All right. Yeah, sure. I don't know why you keep telling me that. I thought you told me you didn't know what that was. All right. Let's look for a... Where is ICs, inductors, processors, packages? This is TQFP. Man. Okay, I gotta go look at KiCad. Not symbols. I need footprints. What is the package I have? It's a... Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, you know what? I actually have these in my parts kit. All right, I'll just order some of these. TQFP. Package QFP. So I need package QFP. Next, next, current. Okay. And then now QFP. Why? Why are there multiples? Why are those? What? I want it. Okay, what's going on? How many pins are in the schematic? So I see 22, 32. Yeah. So it's got 32 pins defined. TQFP. Yeah, this should be it. In fact, that looks really familiar. Okay, so kind of bothered that it's not showing up over here. I don't know what. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, LEDs. I use 1206. Again, I'm just. Oh no, I want to actually use the. I actually want to use an LED. Actually want to use an LED thingy because it draws the arrow, so it's easier to remember where or how to place it. But I'm going to be using a 1206 LED. Ooh. Yeah, we'll just go with the regular. M1, M0, so these are going to be mounting holes. And I think I came up with, I'm going to actually start adding these to the global because I use them, so why not? Okay, mounting hole, I need a 3mm, 3.2mm M3 pad via. Okay. Jumper, come back to that. Inductor, that can be a 12. That's a. Oh, actually, my inductor is a funny size. It's like a. I gotta go look at that. Let's go ahead and see if we have the inductor library. So Thomas, how did I used to say it? Because the company I worked for, we did a lot of stuff in Germany, but we had a factory in Italy, and of course in Italy it was famous. It was famous that the cafe in the common area was where all the business got done, and so what was I said, that Germans can make the most precise cup of coffee, but only Italians know how to enjoy it. And it was something like that. It was always interesting getting those two groups of people together and hearing them make fun of each other. Okay, so here's where I'm confused. On my... So here's the inductor I'm using, and I'm going to go hit up DigiKey. And I'm pretty sure it was this one. And so let's get the spec sheet on it. Did it download it? And so what I need to know is, what's my dimensions? Metric. So it's a 2.5 and a 1.8. All the question if you have time for quality of life. I tell you what, one thing I think Americans can learn from most Europeans is the value of quality of life. No question there in my mind. So 2210, 2512, but no 2518. Taoyudan, that's actually I think who this is coming from. 2020, these are all square. Oh no, what am I going to do? 2516 or 2816. Oh no, that's what? Is this the imperial? Oh, that's the imperial, and this is the metric. Okay. 20, no. That's making me wonder if I didn't think that through correctly. I mean, I would imagine Taoyudan is, well, it doesn't matter because these are all totally the wrong size. Bachet, 25 for the ILP. No, that's a square. And I'm imagining Worth is going to use metric. 2518. Okay, let's do this. So make sure, did I get these dimension? That's the termination, length, width. Yeah, okay. So the imperial was 1007. I don't think I saw a 1007. I tell you what, when you're in college, they don't tell you that you're going to spend most of your time looking at lists of stuff. All right, so that's, I really don't like changing the inductors though. 1070. Okay, so this is stupid. I don't want to draw this. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go to DigiKey, fixed inductors. I want a, what's going on? In stock. Okay. I actually talked to somebody at Mauser about this, and if anyone from DigiKey ever sees it, why on earth isn't in stock just always selected by default? I mean, does anyone ever do a search for stuff that they don't want in stock already? I tell you, you know. Okay, let's do that. And then down here, I need 10 microhenry. I'm pretty sure it's microhenry. And in stock, 77 cents. My God, that was compact and something. All right, let's sort that by price. So I need my design file from TI. Where did I put that? Sketching, LED badge. Actually, sketching was fine. TPS. Let's put that over there. You are going to finish. Yeah. You know, I'm really. This is one I'm really looking forward to, the routing, because it's going to be a lot of work, but it's not like it's complicated. It's just it's going to be a lot of work. Tau Uden 10 microhenry, 360 milliohm. All right. How close can I get? Does DigiKey let you do by DC resistance? So let's do from 350. Oh man. All right. Well, let's see what happens if I just do 360. Oh, duh. It's going to come back with the part I already have, which is why the whole reason I'm doing this is because I want... Oh. Heck yeah. That's exactly what I want. All right. Oh, come on. Really? 2012. So it should be this one, right? That's not what I have already. Okay, whatever. 360, 10 microhenry, current 150 milliamp. Yeah, that's fine. I'm only going to be drawing 50. Okay. Wire round. And it's like 5 cents cheaper than the other one I had. Come on. All right. So let's grab this guy, grab that part number, update my spreadsheet. So I don't need that anymore. And then I want to go back to my schematic. So in here, what I'm going to do is add NPN. It's this. The value is 10 microhenry. And the footprint inductor was an 805 1210 metric. Okay. Let's get back to... Whoa. No. Let's get back to here. Yeah, I think tonight what I'll probably end up getting done is just getting all the stuff placed where I want it. I wanted to get the layout done, but I ended up taking a nap in the afternoon instead. And so what I'd like to finish tonight with is laying out what the board will look like, or placing all the parts, and then tomorrow I'll actually do the routing, because I'm gonna have to use a lot of planes for the switching regulator, and that just gets tedious really quick. And then I did figure out my tag connect, and so to program the microcontroller, I'm using one of these things. Which is like a quick connect style thing that just connects to the board and lets go. Earlier in the stream, I couldn't find the right footprint for this. And so I actually went back and this is actually what I'm using. So I actually went and updated KiCad so that I had the latest libraries, and it was in there. So happy to finally get that figured out. Okay, Alpha Jam, that's what I just created. Jumper, ooh, we're gonna come back to that because I don't know where that's at. Transistor, I had a thought about this earlier. I was going to use through-hole parts, and I've decided to surface mount them. And so I need to double check. Can I find a 2N3906? In stock, surface mount, balls. Transistor BGT single. In stock. I really was hoping that, you know, it just occurred to me, does it even exist? Do this. I need quantity of like 20. 95 cents. Next period, diode zinc. Let's go see what this looks like. So 40, 40, 200. Okay, that'll work. That's what I want. And they're in stock, correct? Yes, yes. 113,000. Well, I think that's going to be enough. You know, so when you order from distributors, DigiKey, Farnell, RS, Mauser. So if you go to these places, they're just warehouses of shelves and shelves and shelves of components. And people, when you place the order, the workers have to go and like find the part, and then say like for a surface mount part like this transistor, they take and undo this whole thread of stuff, and then they run it through a thing that counts. And so they get order after order after order, day after day of people ordering 1, 10, 100, 1,000. And so I always like to order like 1,032 just to, you know, change their daily routine. I think the distributor might not like that because then they end up with an odd number of parts left over, but you know, it's just kind of fun. Okay. So we're going to go with this part number, and okay. What's the package? Is it SOT 23? 23.3. So transistor package, SOT SMD, SOT 23.3. Okay, let's do this because I want to see the footprint viewer, so I don't lose it. Footprint, browse footprints, 23, SOT 23.3. Does that look right? Yes, I like to throw a monkey in the wrench. Ah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. What was this? Oh, that's a T. Okay. Okay. Double check. I want just one more time. SOT 23.3. The only thing I don't know then is 1, 2, 3. So my schematic. So this is showing me 3, 2, 1, and then on my symbol I have okay. I'm going to select this for the moment, and so this is going 1, 2, 3, so I can say, so this is emitter, 2 is base, this is collector, and then if I go look at, I just want to make sure that the pin out of this thing works. I've messed that up enough times in my life. And I'm glad I looked, because it would be wrong. It would be base. Yeah. Okay. So in their design, get a better marker and refill my beverage, which is totally water based. Okay, so in their schematic, they've got this. Oh, what the heck did I just draw? Which is kind of upside down for mine, but that means 1, 3, 2 based on the KiCad, which means I need to select a different. How can I easily change value properties? All right, I need a PNP. And so what I need is one that goes so what I need is base emitter collector, BEC. Right, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, you know, it's weird. This water does seem to foam up for some reason. It's shocking. It's almost like there's like bacteria or something growing inside of it. Unfortunately, it is not German water. I am celebrating Cease de Mayo. That's the lesser known popular May drinking holiday. All right. So collector. No, I still don't. Yeah, yeast. I said bacteria. I was thinking yeast. No, this still doesn't seem right. Why don't? Okay, you know what? No, I've messed this up on another board, and so I really don't want to get this wrong this time. Drinking Sprite. Yeah. Yes, yes. It is. It does have a hint of lemon in it. 1, 2, 3. A friend of mine just said, yes, yes, I know why you can't line that up. Thanks. Thanks. That's just great. All right. So here's what I'm trying to do. So the KiCad footprint is 1, 2, 3. All that really matters is what? Is that the symbol. Well, this, can I close this or at least move it? So all I need to make sure is that the symbol, so 1 is base. That's wrong. I need. Do I just need to make my own symbol? Okay. That's what I'm going to do. So let's just go to, is it this one? Footprint editor. That's fine. Let's just do new. I'm suffering from tired of doing this project syndrome. But I have a really bad habit of starting projects and not finishing them, which the whole reason I'm doing this as live stream is so I have a little more accountability to actually get this done. So what's going on? Open, I want to open footprint, list all, PMP, or no, what is this? It's a SOT 23. Wait a minute. Wait. I'm overcomplicating. So this is the pattern for the part, and I wrote it on here wrong. This should have been 2, and this should have been 1. So I should have been looking for EBC. So EBC. So then the emitter, the base, the collector. Okay. XY. Oops. XY. Delete this one. All right, emitter, base, and the collector. Got it. Yeah, so for me, it's getting close to bedtime, so I definitely am looking forward to that. But yeah, I get the point. Actually, speaking of playing, in terms of, okay. In terms of playing games, I've actually just recently started playing Retro City Rampage, which I guess it's a couple years old now. But if you've never played the game, it's sort of like Grand Theft Auto, but it's done as a 16-bit era game, and it's packed with 80s references, which I just never made the connection. But it's actually... I'm really kind of enjoying it. It's not as, I would say, in-depth or involved as, say, like a Grand Theft Auto, but it's sort of got that same expansive gameplay element to it. And then the 80s references just totally reminds me of Ready Player One. And so that's actually been kind of fun. Oh, I am so glad I did this. 0, 1. I forgot to do this earlier. 2, 3. Yes, this is why I chose the wrong transistor earlier, is so that I could fix it later. And I did lose that. So let's get that put back in. And now we're in good shape. All right, now let's clear these. Man, I thought I was done with this. Lame. Did anybody watch the Kentucky Derby? I totally missed that it was even happening. Like, it took me a little bit to realize that people were not talking about roller derby, but they were talking about the Kentucky Derby. 5, 6. All right. 6, 7, 8. Well, the cool thing about Retro City Rampage is it takes like no resources, and so it runs on like it runs on everything, and it's only like $10 or so. And I would say I've only been playing it the last week, and I've maybe played about 10 hours because I usually play up to about 2 hours a day, and it's totally worth it. 2012, holy crap! No wonder my friend was making fun of me. All right. 11, 12, 10, la, la, la. All right. So now we need to re-annotate. Annotate, annotate. I really don't care what you do to the numbers. It's not going to change anything I care about. Come back into here. And I totally forgot to set that. So we'll do this now. All right, that's in good shape. So reset switch is, oh, please tell me I have my modified push button. I ran into this on the last project I did. I had the wrong push button footprint and it drove me insane. 1122. That is the wrong that's the wrong push button. Yes. Is that the right one? No. Nope, these are not the right one. These are from a different project. I need the one from the Freetronics library. That's what I've been using. Okay. Pen, computer. So earlier I was complaining about this file manager, and one thing I noticed in the nightly builds, it at least remembers where I was at, and so I don't have to come back into this directory every single time, and that's definitely an improvement. Change, no. Footprint, Freetronics, what did he call it? We're going to use that for something else. What did he call it? Yeah, this is it. All right, copy this, and then edit this one, put that in, edit this one, put that in. All right, awesome. I like push buttons. I think every single project should have push buttons and an LED, and the clickier the push button, the better. TPS. Need to figure out the package for that. The jumpers, we're actually going to grab that from the Freetronics as well. What does he call them? SJ Open. This is where a narrow link would be great. Just think about the part you want, and then there it is in your KiCad. Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh man, so I still need to draw these two symbols. Balls. All right, what's the package I'm using for my TPS 70? TPS 61. It is an SOT6. Awesome. That's going to make it easy. Yeah. Yeah. I think if I look at, I feel like component management, part management, I don't know of any CAD software that gets this right, but it does seem like it's the most difficult aspect, and I'm not sure why. But managing the symbol libraries, the footprints, okay, so there's that aspect. And then tying those to actual component numbers for active components, like say like this TPS driver or switching regulator, that doesn't change all that much. But you look at passive components where I have a lot of experience, and you know, like at Kemet, we had something like 6 million active part numbers. Now, we only sold about 100,000 of those part numbers, but there's like 6 million. So it would be impossible for any software to have every type of component. So, I mean, we actually even did like, these aren't valid numbers, but it was on this order. It was like we said, well, what about 10 microfarad, 10 volt parts? We had something like tens of thousands of valid part numbers for that. It's like, well, how do you translate that to something that a designer can put into their circuit? And so I get why it's difficult, but man, part management is tough. Okay, so I don't have an SOT6. No, I don't know what to do. Okay, so SOT 23-6, SOT 23-6. Is that the right one? Yeah, I mean, I think actually, you know, I think your idea of either voice or mind or whatever, you know, I actually would say both of those are entirely possible, but you still have to solve the problem of how do you capture or store this stuff up front or in the beginning, and I think that's where there's been an issue. Okay, so it's an SOT 23. I don't know what thin means. But what we're going to do is print this page because I'm going to just double check that this is the correct footprint. Okay, I don't know why it complained. Let's go to PCB editor. We're going to add list all SOT 23.6. Take mask off. And so this says from pin to pin should be point. So this is the thing I care about at the moment. Is pin to pin. So the way I do this, I just say, okay, draw a line. And it's X starts at 153.8.735, 152.9.2.324. What? 9232 minus 0.95. Awesome. And then from, let's say from tip to tip, they want 3, around 3. Okay, we can, I just want to see something on the order of 3. So 964. Ooh, that's, I'm a little bit worried about that. Okay, so then let's just worry about that part, because that's all that really matters, I guess. I just don't want it to run into, say, from here to here. So 95, I don't trust doing math in my head right now. 1.4, which is the minimum on here. So, okay. This is good. I'm not ready to have a connector in the back of my head. Yeah, I think voice is actually getting close. In fact, I was going to do a talk and then I had to cancel it. But I was setting up an Alexa behavior where you would ask her for a capacitor part number and she'd go do a search and then come back with an equivalent. And so, you know, I think actual just voice interaction itself is so close to being in prime time. I think engineering lends itself to voice controls simply because there's a lot of kind of part number sort of things. Where it gets difficult is when you say, I mean, if you say, I want a C0805C 104K, 1 RAC, or I want an 805 100 nanofarad 10 volt X7R ceramic capacitor, voice control is going to find it no problem. I think the real barrier, and this is what we have this barrier today, is when you say, I need a switching boost regulator, I need a boost regulator that works from 3 volts and boosts to 5 volts, 50 milliamps. I want something to give me this. I don't want to fill out anything else, or I just want it to understand that's exactly what I'm looking for. And that we're just really far from. Okay. All right. What was I doing? Okay, so that's got a part number now. This switch and the battery I actually need to create. Bummer. Okay, so the switch is going to be super easy, he says. So let's do new. Actually, what I want to do is set active library, my libraries. Okay, new footprint name is going to be ADA switch. And now, hold one moment. I need to go get a switch. I'll be right back. Yeah, totally. Time for a commercial break. Yes. Yeah, got to get that YouTube money, let me tell you. That commercial break would have been worth about maybe 2 pennies. All right. So these probably are all, let's go back to, so I'm just using this switch. I bought it from Adafruit for a different project, but it's going to work out fine on this one. Let's see, it's about 0.6. All right, 0.6 millimeter. And then what is the spacing? 2.45. That's weird. .6. All right, so I've got 5.6. What's 5.6 divided by 2 would be a 2.8. So that's not quite there. But then from here to here is 0.6. So if I took 3 out of that, that'd be 2.5, 2.25. Because here to here. Thank you, Dr. Teddy. Appreciate your help on the recruiting the likes. So 0.3. Okay. So this is telling me that this pin to this pin, and from here to here is 3 millimeters, which doesn't make sense because then from here to here should have been like 6. Oh, that's like 2. 1.5. You know what? I'm an idiot. Adafruit 805. I honestly don't understand why people watch anything and downvote it. It's like the most useless feedback mechanism. It's one of the things I dislike most about YouTube is a downvote is completely and totally meaningless. All right, so I was close. So I need holes that are at least 0.6. So I got that. And they need a spacing of 2.5. Got that. And what's the dimensions of the, what's the outline? Because, you know, it's like, I mean, it's, I almost wish I almost wish downvotes only counted if you had to select from like a list of here's like 3 things, like the sound was bad, the visuals were bad, the guy's too bald, you know, whatever. You know, give some feedback to the creator. Why was it downvoted? You know, and I've actually, back when I was getting started, I could tell when somebody did like a Google search and they would find a video, and the question that they would put in the comments saying, oh, you didn't cover blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, that's not what the video is about. But that comment would show up at the same time a new downvote would show up, which makes me think part of the reason people were downvoting was, well, they did a search, it came up, it didn't answer their question, which as you know, from a creation point of view, that's not really helpful because, you know, I can't, you know, there's nothing to improve in that case. So, yeah, and then I think, and in fact, one thing I was talking to a friend of mine this morning about before the stream that I did this morning is lately the trolling on my channel has gotten to the point of it's actually gotten to the point where it's a little bit upsetting, you know, and it's like my actually you know, she was like, why would somebody even take the time to say something like that? What's the value? What's in it for them? You know, it's just like, yeah, I mean, well, if you have a legitimate criticism or complaint, you know, that's fine. I want to hear that. I want to know that there's something that could be done better. But, you know, it's like, gosh, you know, if you just want to be a jerk about things, what's the point of that? All right, so 0.7. I'm actually going to bring this down a little bit. So this thing is going to, yeah, I'll just bring it down a little bit. We'll leave everything else. So X, okay, so I'm going to do this. Now this one I'm not doing the whole, I'm not going to go through the whole exercise of what I did with Illustrator. It's not as critical. I'm looking for, where do they align distribute? Align to middle. Oh, come on. All right, actually, I'm just going to do this manually. So I want the Y to be 0, and I'm going to make the X negative 1.75. And then that way I can make this Y 0, and then negative 1.75 plus, what was it, 2.5? So it should be positive 0.75. And then 0.75 plus 2.5 is what, 325? All right. And now I can just move this whole thing, right? In fact, shoot, duh, I should have just done it this way. All right. Beautiful. Yeah, I agree with the, if you downvote something, leave a reason. I mean, because I do create videos, that's actually what I do, is I'll actually say, I mean, the number one thing that I downvote people for is ridiculously loud background music. You know, I use background music in my videos because I'm trying to drown out some of the white noise. You know, like especially when I have the equipment running, it does create an audible noise level, and it gets distracting when I start doing edits because you'll hear like little skips and jumps. And so by adding just a little bit of background music, it helps to cover that up. But man, some videos, it's just like, what is wrong with you? And the music is just awful. I'm sure it has nothing to do with how old I'm getting, but it's just like, come on, guys. All right, so that wasn't too painful. Now we need a new footprint, and this is going to be AA 2X single, because the next thing we need to do is my battery holder. So let's get the drawing for this. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and save that to here. Should actually save this one too. All right. I don't normally print this much stuff, but without having access to my second screen, this is difficult. All right, so I'm actually going to sort of just do the same thing just because it's going to be easy. So does it tell me how big these pins are? 0.5, so let's add a hole. Yeah, well, okay, so in my videos I use After Effects, and I also use, well, almost all of the Adobe Creative Suite. And like a lot of people, I learned how to use software tools by watching YouTube tutorials. And there are a boatload of After Effects tutorials that have no narrator. They're 100% screen, but there's no narration. And so all it is this ridiculously loud music. So now when I watch those videos, I'm going to picture that people in the call center or in the basement are yelling and screaming, so they had to quiet the video down. All right, 0.5. I'm going to make this like a 0.6. Actually, I'm going to leave this as a 0.7 because I'm going to glue this down anyway. So that's the size of the hole. They need to be split by 102. Since I'm zeroing this out, I just need to do 102 divided, so 51. So we'll go position 51 millimeters, and then this one's going to go negative 51. Zoom this out. Boy, that looks huge. Huge, absolutely huge. Also, wait. The width is 0.9. Oh, good thing I noticed that. All right, increase the size of these holes a little bit because they're going to need a good solder joint to what? One. No. Whatever. Okay. Am I missing the pad? Yeah, I might have done those wrong, but that's okay. It's only 100 and, well, I guess it's actually 400 milliamps, but whatever. Okay, so now I need a rectangle that is 107. So I hate drawing shapes in KiCad. So this is going to be 107.8 divided by 2 is 53.9. 53.9. And endpoint is going to be 53.9. And then x is going to be 9.5 divided by 2, 4.75. And then 4.75. And 4.75. Okay, well that didn't work out. What did I screw up? Oh, y should be the same. All right. And then this one is going to end at 53.9, 4.75, 53.9, 4.75. 53.9, 4.75, negative 53.9, 4.75. And negative 53.9, 4.75, negative 53.9, negative 4.75. All right. That's my battery holder. Wow. Okay. Well, that was not fun. So let's edit this one. Footprint, browse, my libraries. This big guy. And then on the switch, browse, my library, Adafruit switch, which actually, I just realized I don't think I drew a rectangle on that. Open footprint, list all, Ada switch. Nope, I sure did not. What did I say on that one? So we'll just kind of do the same thing. And this is normalized, so 11.6 divided by 2 is 5.8. So 2 and 5.8. Negative 5.8, negative 1, 5.8, negative 1. 5.8, negative 1, 5.8, 1. 5.81, negative 5.81. This does not look right. Or maybe it does, actually. 1, negative 5.8, negative 1. Where did my switch go? What did I do with it? Yeah, okay, that looks right. It's like really huge. The silk screen is running into it a little bit close. Okay, I'm going to we're just going to expand this a little bit. Oh, yeah, this is why I like to do it in Illustrator instead. It just, to me, it's just a little bit easier. All right. Okay, that's fixed. Now we are done with packages, I think. Okay, I've only had snippets. So, what do you mean by snippets? I have a feeling I know what you mean by that, but what's a snippet? Switch 4, right? Didn't it? Oh, I didn't actually add the footprint. Ada, okay, save. All right, everything's got a package. Just take a quick look, make sure it makes sense. So this is going to be the battery that I just made. The AVR, excited to use that for the first time. 1206, that I just made. That's for the 18 mega, which I need to buy. Mounting holes, jumpers. I need to make sure those are the right ones, but I'll see that when I get into PCB. Selected the new inductor. We're going to go for surface mount. I almost said surface mount FETs. It's not a FET. All right, 805s for all my, these are capacitor footprints, but who cares, they're resistors. It'll be close enough. Push button, okay. All right, so that all looks good. Yeah, I did notice these leads are pretty long. I'm not sure yet, but I'm hoping it would be nice to actually bend them around. So we'll see. Okay. Oh, schematic, you're so pretty. I can't read you, but it's really pretty. Generate netlist. Not the last time I'm going to be doing that. So it took me, I think, about 5 circuit boards before one day I realized I knew how to use KiCad. Like it seemed like project after project, I'd get to a point, fail, switch back to Eagle. And then one day I just realized I was like, oh, I was going to show you guys. So I've been doing the series. So I've been doing the DIY Arduino series, and I haven't used OrCAD much. That's one I need to go back and look at just to get an idea where its capabilities are at. But so if you're new or haven't seen what I've done in the last couple of videos, so I've been doing a DIY Arduino series, and what I ended up making was, so I did one episode where I just drew the schematic, and then one episode where I created the PCB. And so I made it in the shape of a triangle. All this is a 328, and the pin's broken out. So it's basically it doesn't have a serial chip, so it's basically like a the one before the Du Millinove. It's more like, oh, a Nano. I'm thinking of, yeah, no, Nanos have a Pro Mini. Pro Mini is what I'm thinking of. Anyway, so I'm really excited about those boards. Functionally, I'm not really sure what the value of it is, but at least aesthetically, I think they're really pretty. I'm really glad with the way that those came out. Okay, import netlist, read, com, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but did it load the footprint? Because I don't really care. Okay. It did not load the footprint. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, so I got an error around my switch and I don't see any rats. So let's go back to the schematic and double check that. Yeah, there should have been a couple connections. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to add an MO3. And give it the same footprint. Yeah, fine. Annotate. Okay, that works. Do I have them populated? No, my original plan was to populate them this afternoon. In fact, at one point, I thought about just designing this whole circuit to use that, but since I haven't tried these yet, if they don't work, then I would have run out of time. So, but yeah, I plan to be populating them later this week. Wow. How did that work out? I'm really happy with where it put the displays. Okay. I mean, are they overlapping? No. Wow, that works out really well. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go with that. So I want the displays and the battery on the front side. Now, how can I do want to make sure this is relatively centered. So how can I, let's see. Because there's 6 of these. I will not be doing auto routing. I do not auto route. I do not believe in it. Can I do... what do I want to do? If I drew a line, here, and then draw a line here, and a line here, and then I think a line here. I'm trying to think. I think this, and this, but not this. I want to distribute horizontally. Okay. So now this one is at, let's call it 160. All right, and he's at 160 now. So that's going to be as close to centered as I'm going to get with the tools I have available. And it does not look centered at all. Are these? So I'm not a fan of using auto routers, but what I do like is, and I was really using it in the Eagle live stream last week, is I do like when they have like I guess it's called push and shove routing, where the router will try on a line by line basis to effectively help you out. Okay, you know what? I don't even know why I'm making this so difficult. All I got to do is this. All right, and then the X is here. Bring this down to about where I want it. We'll put it right there. All right, enough of that. Mounting holes, let's go pad 1, move. We're just going to put it... Are you kidding me? Okay. I feel better now. Yep. Let's see. When was the last time I hit save? Yeah, actually, I think I had just hit save before that happened. Yeah. But still, it's just annoying. Okay, we'll sort of do that for the moment. Now I want to sort of group out the 328s. Can you turn rats off? I thought I could. Yeah, okay. Control. So good on your Control S emergency quick save skills. So when I was in college, I was in college in the late 90s, Linux was just becoming like, a real thing. And it was a huge big deal when it was what became OpenOffice or LibreOffice. Before that, it was StarOffice and or SunOffice or StarOffice. But I was kind of I was kind of stubborn as a kid, and so I only ran Linux on my computer. And when StarOffice came along, I thought it was amazing because I could actually do all my lab reports and everything on it. In fact, before I found it, I was using LaTeX, and that was not fun. It made beautiful looking reports, but I don't miss using it on a daily basis. So, but where I'm going with this is, so StarOffice comes out, and I want to say it was Linus Torvalds that said this, but I don't remember if it was him or not. But they're like, the quote was, yeah, as we watch Linux StarOffice users, we can tell which ones come from Windows because they always hit save before they print. And I just thought that was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Actually, did these line up? Sorry, I need to see what the schematic looks like. Where'd my... Did I not load it? Oh, it's because it... Shoot, that's why. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Whatever. Why is this still... Okay, whatever. Q1... Oh, bummer. I wonder, can I re-annotate this? Because I want... I know what I want to do. Just let me save this. One-tenth graph paper, a pencil, pink pearl eraser. It's my design and routing platform. Yeah. I'm fortunate enough to say I never had to do manual layout. I just finished reading It's shoot, I forgot the actual title, but it's a book on the history of Commodore. I want to say A Commodore Story, but that's the movie that sort of covers some of the same material as the book, even though it's not related. But yeah, just kind of thinking back to like old 8-bit computers. So not only were the circuit boards laid out by hand, but most of the integrated circuits, like the first 6502s, were laid out by hand. And, you know, to me, that's just absolutely amazing. It's like, I can't imagine the effort that went into hand wiring 1,000 transistors, let alone a couple thousand. And so the fact that, you know, anything worked in the, I'd say in the era of the 80s is just mind-boggling. Let's clean some of this stuff up. That's fine. All right, so now close that. We get back to this guy. All right, so, and then, you know, you can even extend that to, I think about sometimes also the space program. And I know that's kind of a, I know you're thinking, wow, that's a tangent. Well, where I'm going with that is, so, okay, the whole Apollo program, you know, absolutely, and everything leading up to it, absolutely amazing engineering that had to go into all of that. But there's also, what, 400,000 people, or so, I think I've heard of 400,000, but at least 100,000 people nationwide that were working on that project. And so it's not, I mean, yeah, you put a bunch of resources behind it. So it's like, okay, while it's still an astounding amount of work, I could see how it could happen. But then you look at something, say, like the space shuttle, and that thing was designed entirely with slide rules. You know, there still weren't complicated computer programs or models for the space shuttle. And look at, you know, what he was able to accomplish. So I don't know. You know, it's funny. Sometimes I get upset. Okay, KiCad crashed, big deal. But, you know, also think about the software and tools that we have today. And I mean, it's amazing what we can accomplish. And so, okay, big deal. There's a couple of bugs in something. You know, get over it. All right, so right now I'm just doing kind of what I call my rough placing. I just want to get parts in the general area they belong, and then I'll worry about how I'm going to clean this up in a little bit. This is 6, 9, okay. So 2 and 4. 2 and 4 must go next to 3. Okay. And then 5 is going to get 6 and 8. I think my printer needs the ink. I mean, I print once a month, so I'm not surprised it's finally giving up. Q10, Q12. I don't know, are printers still a thing? Why I think I said this morning. Why do they still suck? Why hasn't anybody kickstarted like a really good printer project? I mean, come on. Let's get our priorities straight. I got to tell you, quad modular redundancy, that sounds really cool. I mean, think about it. I mean, that's a pretty badass. I mean, could you like totally see, you know, it's like, I don't want to call out any other nations, but could you see like engineers saying, well, evaluating another nation's technology, it's like, well, they only use dual redundancy. We used quad redundancy. I just love it. Totally makes sense, and yeah, it's a good idea. You know, NASA certainly had their share of situations where redundancy saved the day. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I remember reading about that because I remember like a long. I mean, this was in back in the Alta Vista web crawler days when Netscape was still a thing. But I remember coming across the JPL website, and they had like the operations manual posted on their website for the space shuttle. So it was pretty detailed. You could actually, it would be like, well, you know, these controls are located on panel 47-J2, and there'd be a picture of it along with the controls. And then there was a whole paper on this voting system that its computer system had, and I totally forgot about that. But that's about the limit of what I remember on it. I just remember it was like so cool that you could actually basically read about all the operational capabilities of the space shuttle at home. It's like, and you know, from a technology point of view, it's not a big deal, right? It's just information, but you know, just the fact that that information was available to anyone was kind of mind blowing at the time. All right, so if this is connected to here, I need to know now. No, so 9. Where's this one? R1, R2. What's this connected to? Uh-oh. So that's missing its connection. What about this? Come on. And then this one doesn't seem to be connecting to Q6, even though it seems like it should. Okay, I'm going to put it there. I'll bet I missed something. And we're missing one resistor. Oh, what's this stuff down here? Okay, so this is definitely, that goes with the regulator chip. Is that it? No, that's another capacitor. Where did my regulator go? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I wonder if I lost the footprint. Okay. Because 10 microfarad, 10 microfarad. Okay, so here's the inductor. Oh, I thought that was the inductor down there. Okay. This goes down here. This one goes down here. This one goes down here. I need to figure out which capacitor goes with those. This 1K should be somewhere near the, oh, okay, so that's that one. So this 10K, what was the 10K for? Why is it showing up over here? Okay. I need to look at the schematic for a minute. What about, so yeah, I guess there isn't really a good printer language, is there? This is so irritating. Oh man, and if I try to okay. I've got to fix these before I can. Okay, so that's fixed. The whole reason I'm doing this is because this this LED didn't get connected. It's connected to R1. Interesting. Okay. What is it complaining about? Inductor. Okay. I don't understand why it got messed up. And now I lost my crap. History. Oh, okay. Actually, I do have this somewhere else. Okay, so that's repaired now. Invisible that. Okay. I feel like one of these transistors was having trouble. Why isn't this highlighting when I do that? Okay. I have a feeling one of these was disconnected, but I don't see it, so maybe not. If you're interested in the Saturn V, there's a documentary on Amazon Prime that's actually a really good history of the program. I really enjoyed it. I think it's just called Saturn V. I mean, it's not like it's cryptic or anything, but I thought it was a really good insight into the program. The thing that I didn't realize about the Saturn V is that it's, what is it, in stage 2 or 3, that the helium and the hydrogen, is it, what is it, helium and nitrogen? Whatever the two gases are, I know one's helium. That's actually not separated by a metal container, it's separated by a plastic or a rubber bladder, and they did that to save space, and it's because, I think it's stage 2 was designed last, and so they had a certain volume that they had to fit in, and then figure out how to get it to fit. And so I thought that was like really cool. It's like, geez, seems like something you would have figured out ahead of time, but I guess not. All right. I'll move this down here. Where'd my switch go? Switch is over here. LED. Oh, you know what I didn't do yet? That's why I'm not seeing any changes. Annotate. Okay, I'm getting really tired of fixing something that's already been fixed. So what happens when I JP8 ammo 3. What? Oh, it's right there. I don't know why you're saying it's not. It's there. So something's still not. Okay, generate netlist. Save, replace. Netlist, read current netlist. Changes you made cannot be undone. Do you want to read it? Sure. All right. Show all warnings, errors. Removed on info. So is this 5? Is this an error or a warning? I don't understand. Okay. Close. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. So, oh, come on. Why did I lose that? What in the world happened? This is totally different than what I had a minute ago. Oh. Oh wow, it's past 10:30. Okay. For this directory revert and commit, yeah, no kidding. Well, I didn't anticipate this being all that difficult. I mean, it's not a complicated design, but I made the idiot mistake of updating KiCad in the middle of it. Change, delete, 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 read. I still don't understand why I'm getting that, and I lost the, it's not bringing over, why isn't it bringing over this? Okay, 10 microhenry, that, jeez. What? Oh, come on. Oh, jeez. You know, what do you mean it exists already? Then why isn't... Oh my God. Well, gosh, you know, that's kind of a... Oh, goodness. Yeah, this is, you know, this is the part where I start to really dislike KiCad. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts. I'm sure there's 5 people that will tell me all the 1,000 things I did wrong and I should have, you know, if I had followed the following 20 steps exactly, this wouldn't have happened. Why can it not remember the directory name? I mean, seriously, it was doing it earlier. Okay, so that's done. I still don't understand why this isn't coming over. I wonder, is it the same problem? If I go in here and, yep. How do you, can I do, oh, all right. I just want to get this fixed, and then I think it's going to be time for some more German water. So this one, we're going to remove this, and files on computer. Yep, this is, I still cannot understand who thought this was a good idea. Well, the thing is, if you set up symbolic links and get repositories, and then you have them interlinked together, it's only 17 clicks instead of the 22 that you're doing. But it's open source, so just spend 2.5 years studying the code and you can go fix it yourself. TQFP 32. All right. It is that one. Okay. Save, netlist, generate. Tools, load netlist, reference, change, delete, read. Got less errors this time, but I'm still not sure what the errors are. Or are those warnings? I guess it has to be an error, because if there's a warning, the number might show up here. But well, honestly, so I'm bitching and moaning about KiCad, but really some of this is just because I'm using the nightly build, which isn't to say that the 4.07 or whatever, the 4.0 branch, I mean, it still has some issues, but it's a lot more stable. And so part of this is my own doing, because I'm not using that branch, which I haven't really run into this many problems with before. But that said, I'm just, come on. So okay. So the thing is, why is it telling me there's 2 errors? Oh, I had them turned off. Okay. U1 is missing a footprint. Okay. And U1, which is the okay. I know what U1 is. I don't know how I'm going to fix this yet. Oh, I know what's going on. It's because it's the same thing. Somehow these, like, the libraries, or I don't know what they're called, the packages got screwed up. But yeah, I mean, this is where I get my frustration with something like this tool is I shouldn't have to spend this much time clicking on folders. I mean, this is not value-added design. I mean, and there's not really anyone to appeal to. You know, it's like, how do we go about getting this fixed? Because I can't, it's not like I can stop paying money for it. What was I looking for other than a whiny, a bottle of wine? Get it? Jokes. SOT surface mount. I don't know. The funny thing is then, I go and look at like a board like designed like this, and it's like, well, it came out really nice, and yeah, I ran into some problems with it, but it wasn't like it was unmountable. I get tired of this stuff, Sometimes I just... All right. No. Delete. Change, read. Nope. It is still mad. Was not found in the library's footprint table. Wait, was that not U1? Yeah. Browse. Oh, you know what it was? I didn't. Wait. Shoot. This is a totally different package. I was thinking it was the regulator. I'm trying to design in a HSOP. And it's in package SO. Okay. So manage footprint libraries, append, and then, go through this whole thing again. I think I would be less frustrated about this, except that earlier tonight when I was adding libraries, it was remembering what folder I was in, so I didn't have to keep doing this. And so now all of a sudden it doesn't. Why don't I have SO.pretty? Package. That's why. Next. Global. Finish. Okay. And then browse TSOP 28. What did I have before? Should be this one, right? That looks right. Oh crap, why are there two? Oh, this one has the pad, which is what pin 29 is. Okay. All right, save. I feel so pretty. Awesome. Thank you. Needed that. Okay, I'm just gonna... No, well, the reason I'm doing the netlist thing is because I just want to see it. I want to see what the log says. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, this has been fun. I'm not going to get to the layout. I'm not even going to finish the rough layout. I'll pick this up tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for coming by tonight. Really appreciate the conversation. Really did help me get through this. I would have given up on this probably about an hour ago. So I'm glad I made a lot of progress. And so I'll probably continue to stream tomorrow when I get to some of the layout stuff. And then I've got some other videos and things that I've been working on. And so hopefully I get this all wrapped up tomorrow so I can get that stuff going. I'm really excited about the next 3 or 4 videos I've got coming. So I want to thank everybody in the chat room for sticking with me, and I look forward to talking to you guys some more. Thanks for stopping by.